What's up, guys? I wanted to share an exciting announcement that I've been waiting for a while to make. I'm back to pro golf.
He's back, gee.
I want to go compete again. It's been over a year and a half since I played on the Dakotas Tour.
Let's go!
I finished that up in 2019 in August. Did not play a single tournament or competitive round of golf since then, all the way up until a couple weeks ago. But in April, I started taking golf really seriously again, and I've gotten my game back to a really good place, arguably better than it was even in 2019 when I had been grinding for 3 years straight at pro golf. And so I want to go back and play the Dakotas Tour again this summer. I would be leaving for that in about 2 weeks. And before I get into that and my future plans and all of the excitement that I have for that, let me briefly rewind and share with you guys what the last year has looked like for me. I'm sure some of you have been watching from afar, but I haven't really created too much content letting you guys inside my mind and process and everything that's been going on, because it's definitely more than you can see at face value just by watching a couple TikToks or Instagram videos. And I wanted to explain that because I've always had a really open and vulnerable and raw relationship with you guys. That's the way I've tried to approach social media. I never wanted to be inauthentic or fabricate things. And so I haven't made one of these more serious talk videos in a while. And I think I owe it to you guys, everyone that's supported me for my entire golf career. And then last year throughout my social media career, got some explaining to do so you can understand what's going through my brain and why I've come to the decision I've come to going forward. So at the end of 2019, I decided I was done with pro golf, right? I had tried my best, wasn't working out. I was tired of being broke. I had other passions and talents in life I wanted to pursue. And one of them was connecting with other individuals. I realized that the thing that got me the most excited in life was connecting with other dope human beings, people that were like-minded, and we shared similar interests and passions. I was like, man, those experiences are so inspiring to me. I want more of them. And the best way I could think of having them was through social media. I was like, why don't you start broadcasting who you are and what you're about, get it to blow up on social media so that you can attract other like-minded individuals and create the social circle and life of your dreams, where you're having all these amazing experiences with people that are also into health and wellness and mindfulness and golf and spirituality, like all of your passions. Share them, find those people, help other people, also be inspired yourself. Like, it just made so much sense to me. So that's where I started 2020. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go full-time social media. It's gonna be about this, this, and this. Let's go. But I had some advice, and I think it was good advice, but it led me down a weird path. I had some advice from people in LA that had experience developing personal brands to sort of dumb it down, age it down. They're like, we love you for who you are and all these things that you're passionate about, but that's like kind of a high level of, you know, it's going to be hard to engage people with longer messages like that and these deeper concepts. And I would recommend, if your goal is to just grow a large audience first, so you actually have people listening to what you're saying, you need to kind of age it down and make it simpler, make things pop in the first 2-3 seconds, be funny, be sexy, be interesting, be cool, never seen before. Like, those have to be your value propositions, because the people you're looking up to that make these 5 to 10 minute videos, or the YouTubers that share the type of content you like, they didn't start that way. They had to do something to get your attention first before they could eventually be like, all right, now that I have your attention, like, here's the things I really care about and want to talk about. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. I'll dumb it down. And then COVID hit. So TikTok exploded because everyone was just sitting at home on their phone for the first couple months, checking the news feed and downloading TikTok and trying to figure it out. So I was one of them. I saw it as a huge opportunity to grow an audience way quicker than I could on YouTube or Instagram. So I just leaned into it fully. I understood the trends and how to go viral on TikTok, and I was paying attention to 21-year-olds who were pretty much running TikTok and seeing what was working. And little by little, it took off. And so I moved to Hollywood in support of that. I wanted to create a network of other content creators and video creators and sort of a new friend circle that would support this new goal I had in life of video creation. And so that took me pretty far away from golf, and some of it was intentional. I was pretty bitter towards golf and felt like I'd given it everything I had since I was 5 years old, and it just hadn't worked out. So I really wasn't even playing for fun. And I was so bad at it after not playing for a while that it was more like embarrassing than anything to try to tee it up and shoot freaking 80 or whatever. So um, I just got further and further away from golf and more into this whole like Hollywood life and younger friends. And it's a world that's pretty tough to navigate. If you guys have any experience down there, you can probably relate. It's, the lines get blurred between right and wrong, and a lot of smiling people and smiling faces kind of disguise a lot of bad crap. And I'm not perfect. I'm not a superhero, so I definitely made my fair share of mistakes and made some of the wrong friends, and just ultimately at the end of last year didn't really feel very good about myself. I think I had the most anxiety and depression I've ever had in my life, and it probably was masked by a lot of smiles and laughs, and most people probably couldn't tell. But I did not like myself, did not like where I was headed, and so kind of removed myself. The last couple months, I haven't been staying in Hollywood. I just prioritized physical and mental health, spiritual health above everything else, and I infused golf back in the mix. I had this little voice in my head saying, like, dude, go back to golf. Like, all of your best friends, like 80% of my best friends in life had come from the golf world. All the people I'd met traveling around and competing in tournaments, because I genuinely think they're some of the best people in the world. If you're crazy enough to be pursuing this one in a million life of being a professional golfer and earning a living from it, you're going to have this awesome combination of being passionate and driven and hardworking and dedicated and being able to make sacrifices. And you've probably gone through some pretty crazy stuff along the route. So just a lot of inspirational people and my kind of people. I like this whole golf world, and I hadn't seen any of them in like a year because I wasn't playing golf, which was our primary thing that we connected on. And so I missed being around those level of people. And so I knew I needed to get back to golf for that, and also to give me something positive to work towards. I was feeling kind of lost. I wasn't really enjoying the content I was making. And in order to have a brand on social media work, you have to be truly passionate about it. And the reality is, I just wasn't passionate about making, silly little TikToks based on the trend of this week, even if it was getting 8 million, 9 million views and blew me up to the level that it did. Like, there was such an emptiness there. And then that started to bring in, would say, like some leech type people and people that want to be around you because you're popular now and you're cool now. And I enjoy being nice to people, and everyone loves it when people tell them nice things. So it was kind of hard for me to gauge who was really a friend and who was just there for the minute or trying to use me. And anyway, I came back to golf, right? And holy shit, did I get better quick. In April, I started actually playing some good golf, and now here we are in May, and I'm like back at or above the level that I was in 2019, breaking par in like 80% of my rounds. And I'm feeling really confident, and I've taken such a crazy approach to life right now. It's probably pretty extreme in the view of most people, but I am kind of an all or nothing personality, so I seem to respond well to that. I'm doing no alcohol, no caffeine, no sugar, gallon of water every day, no TV. I'm rarely using my cell phone except now in these last couple of days because I have a need to start communicating with social media again for my goal moving forward, which I'll get to in a second. Stay tuned. For those of you that are still even here, holy crap, I am not very good at being succinct with my words. Got to work on that. But basically, I'm on this insane like dopamine detox is kind of what I would frame it as, where I've given up virtually everything that can bring you short-term pleasure that isn't related to your long-term goals and fulfillment in life, because all that really does is distract you from applying your energy and attention to the important things in life. So right now for me, that's my golf game and physical and mental health. I am prioritizing those above everything else because it's the only thing that's allowed my head to get clear, to come up with this plan, and allowed me to physically perform well enough to make it happen. So those things, and then I've added in just a ton of positive influences, the content that I consume, the people that I talk to, my daily habits. I'm almost living a perfect life right now, which is not going to be sustainable forever, but it was very necessary to bridge the gap between who I was and where I was going, and who I have always been and who I am right now and where I would like to go, because they were two very different things. And so basically, I want to go play again on the Dakotas Tour. My goal is to be the biggest golf influencer out there. I think right now I have about the largest combined social media following of any golf niche influencer, which is great. But my goal is to be not only the most impactful in terms of reach and audience engagement and the amount of people that I can touch and help with golf and fitness and mindset related stuff, but also the most credible at golf, because you have this dichotomy where it's usually either a super, super talented pro golfer like PGA Tour guys that don't know anything about social media, and they could be so much more impactful with their platforms if they kind of understood how to create content and reach an audience. And then on the other side, you've got these popular social media figures, most of which are not that credible at golf, maybe don't really have too many results to show in terms of pro golf events. And I'm not knocking anyone. I think it's incredibly challenging to blend both. I've tried myself for years and I've never really been successful at it. But I'm going to try again. Keep getting up, even when you get knocked down. So my goal here is to blend being a pro golfer and actually putting my primary energy and focus into that, but simultaneously documenting it and sharing with you guys everything I'm doing, the whole process, the experiences I have. So short term this summer, I'm going to be documenting everything, and my goal is to have some brands get behind me from a sponsorship standpoint. So my content will include, a golf polo hat, shoes, the things that I would be using every day anyway, the products that I believe in, so I can hopefully help their audience and brand awareness grow while simultaneously getting the funding that I need to be able to actually do this, to go play the tournaments, because it's not cheap, the travel and the tournament expenses and coaching and equipment and yada yada. So that's my big grand plan going forward. I could not be more excited about it. This is getting me up out of bed every day, and it's giving me the willpower and discipline to stay focused with the things that I just mentioned, because it's not easy. I literally made a 180-degree flip in life and who I am overnight, with a snap decision, because I didn't have any time to work with here. I would literally leave in 15 days for the Dakotas tour, and it's 9 weeks on the road, new city every 4 days, 17 tournaments. It's going to be an absolute tornado of a summer. And so I simply have no other choice. I literally have to be perfect. I have not wasted a day and I can't even tell you how long. And so that's amazing, right? That's the feeling that I've been missing, that passion and that zest for life, which I always had. I was always had this childlike enthusiasm for life. And that just got sucked out of me last year through a combination of unhealthy habits and people, and just my whole life scenario was just not the best. So I'm back. I'm sure you can see it bleeding out of my soul and face and heart right now, that I have not been this happy or had this amount of energy for anything in a very long time. And this is how life should be. We should all get to experience this. So I'm passionate about this and believe that it is the right way for me to go. And I would love your guys' continued support on this path. That would be amazing. And stay tuned for the rest of the journey. It's only going up from here.